My name is Alexis Gauthier, and I own this beautiful restaurant called Gauthier Soho in central London, where we do the most amazing French gastronomy without animals. Well, the restaurant is a traditional French restaurant in a grand scheme of things, where we welcome our customers, where they are going to spend about 3 or 4 hours with us, and when they are going to eat my cuisine. And this is what I've been doing here in Soho for the last 15 years almost. Well, as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing unusual other than us, or me being inspired purely by vegetables and plants in general. So there is no animals whatsoever in the restaurant. Not only in the plate, but also everywhere around. We have removed every pieces of animals we used to use in the past. Really, my professional career started in south of France. And in south of France, the core ingredients are pretty much vegetables and fruits. I was really I started my professional career in Nice, and then after in Monaco, and I was always very much interested by cooking, plants and vegetables. But then after I obviously opened my first restaurant serving animals, but yet looking into the world of plant-based cooking. And I think I was one of the first chefs in London to create a tasting menu purely based around vegetables, and that was in 1998, so it was a long time ago. And then after I developed a normal French restaurant with, in parallel, a tasting menu with animals and a tasting menu with plant, and we had Michelin stars, and so it was all going very well. And but one day I decided to go a little bit more into my research into vegetables, and I wrote a book called Vegetronic, which really put the vegetable in the center of the plate, and still animal ingredients, but more on the satellite of the vegetables. And then in 2014, I became vegan. So you can imagine, for a traditional French chef, becoming vegan, it was something quite challenging. But I did it because I realized that, there was animal consciousness, and now it was a fact. It wasn't just something we thought yes or no. No, it's a fact. And I decided that I did not want to carry on profiting from the torment, torture, and death of people who did not want to die to finish in a plate. So from this moment, I turned my restaurant into a vegan restaurant, and all our creative skills were put into developing plant-based cuisine, from starters to pudding, and it was a new journey. The pandemic had a deep impact, because just before the pandemic, we had a little bit of still a little bit of animals. We will have had, let's say, scallops in the menu. We will have had a cut of sea bass. There was still, and then obviously COVID hit us, and I saw it as a chance for us to once and for all turning the restaurant into 100% plant-based. And I felt like the customers as well were ready to start imagining a French gastronomic restaurant with all its tralala, with the one waiter coming to the table and trying to talk to you about the wine, to the silver on the plate, the crystal glasses, and everything that makes a French gastronomic experience so French. But yet, I wanted to add this element of vegan cuisine, and the compassionate element that now I think people are ready for and understanding what we're trying to do. And to be fair, I was right, because that was really the right thing to do at the right moment, and COVID was a turning point for us. I think my customers reflect what people feel in this time and age. Everybody is concerned about the planet, but I'm quite vocal about me wanting to end the use of animals in French gastronomy. So I guess I attract a lot of people who share the same kind of thoughts as I have. Yeah, 50% of my customers come here because they are vegan for the animals, just like us, just like me. And I would say 25% do not want to eat animals because they know it has an impact on the planet. And then you have 25% of flexitarian. So like a lot of people, I think, and it's the majority of people these days, and it's really it gives me a lot of hope for the future. Is I think, I hear people saying, oh yeah, well, actually I don't eat meat Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or I've stopped eating meat for lunch, or I've reduced the amount of fish I consume. And I think it's something that we need to take on. Other chefs need to take on board, because people are demanding for the creativity from chef, which really reflects what our customers want. And our customers want, they want less animals. That's for sure. As a chef, I know that it's super difficult to be able to shift from being taught how to express your creativity with animals to being able to express your creativity purely through a plant-based inspired menu. And it was very scary for me. It will be very scary for a lot of chefs, but I will encourage chefs to go for it, not be scared, to really use their creative skills and all the juice they have to develop wonderful plant-based dishes, because people are going to demand that. And as a chef, it's our duty. We have a duty. Well, moving to being exclusively plant forward as really put the light on the potential of creativity. I think before, and a lot of chefs will feel the same, I was a little bit constrained with my French gastronomic past. There were things I could do and things I couldn't do because I had been taught the right way. And there was a point in my professional career when I said, well, you know what? I'm going to use what I've been taught, but I'm just going to use it, obviously, without the animals. And perhaps everything I've been taught in the past is going to be very useful for. And yes, it does. The refinement and the light touchness of the French gastronomy is so useful, even now, me not using any animals. I use that a lot, but yet there is the other window which had been opened the day I decided to be creative and to only use plant-based cooking. There is no limit and there is no restraint. If I want to put strawberry as a starter, why not? If I want to use aubergine in puddings, why not? Why not? As long as it tastes good, why not? So I will say to chefs, don't be scared, because your creativity is what makes you as a chef. And I think being able to cook plant-based cuisine is this new planet that you discover in your professional life, and you can explore it. And it's such a chance. I feel so lucky to be able to do what I do. I think when it comes to plant-based cooking, it's a lot more precise. You cannot hide behind a beautiful cut of beef or behind the most succulent scallops. No. When you are cooking vegetables, you are exposed, you are naked. And so it has to be really, really perfect. And when I did, for example, the green asparagus dish, this is something we have refined to the perfection, I would say, because we have looked at the asparagus and we have looked at how we will have cooked it in the French traditional way, where you boil the vegetables in salted water for X amount of time and then you refresh them. But actually, by doing that, you wash away all the deliciousness of the asparagus. And when the asparagus is the star of the dish, you need to think about how am I going to concentrate the flavor, how I'm going to make it look even better. And that is something we have been, I say we because my team of chefs and myself, we have thought long and hard about it. And we realized that by just stabilizing the chlorophyll on the asparagus, concentrating in flavor without giving any coloration, because when you give coloration, it adds some bitterness to the asparagus. It's super fragile, so we don't do it. And then deglazing with the bouillon, and then concentrating the taste with the cover. This is an explosion of asparagus flavor. So I think the techniques are refined constantly, and this is just the beginning. I mean, what I'm telling you today, probably in 10 years' time, I will tell you so much more about how to enhance the flavor of the original product. It's just a progress, and we are right into it. Yeah, I mean, it's the reality is we cannot continue. It's a duty of chefs, I think. Chefs have a duty to put their creative skills in the developing plant-based dishes for their customers, for many reasons. But the obvious reasons is the animal welfare. We just can't carry on the way we have been doing for the last 50, 100 years. That's just not sustainable. And whether chefs like it or not, the customers are going to ask for more creations around plant-based cuisine, and we need everybody. We need every chefs everywhere to put their creative skills into that, to create some delicious dish. Because I think there is still a difference between delicious and plant-based cuisine. A lot of people say, "Oh no, I'd love to be vegan, or I'd love to have more plant-based dishes in my life, but it's not as good as a roast chicken." Or of course, it's not as good yet. Future. Let's put our creative skills. Chefs have a duty to do that, and so I want to encourage. I mean, when I encourage my chef, the other chefs I meet, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing today. It's to try to convince more chefs to do what I do, and to put more of the creative skills into the world of plant-based cuisine for the well-being of the planet, but more importantly for the animals.